Hello there, this is Gab Game. Welcome back to the Black Evolution. And today, we're going to talk about one topic that's very important, near and dear to y'all. It's about dating game. Let's get into it. Here we go. So, without further ado, before we talk about the dating game, I have one specific guest that I want to speak to y'all. He's an entrepreneur, he's a CEO, he is a job. His name is Tyler, aka Kid Clutch Productions. Introduce yourself, young brother.
Big Clutch in the building. You already know what's good, Daniel.
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's been a long time since we did this together.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Been a very long time. We haven't done this since either February or March, one of the two. So let's go ahead and get into it. So when it comes to the dating game and everything else, how do you feel about dating culture as a whole when it comes to our generation?
I think dating culture in our generation is overrated because I feel it used to mean something, but now it's like, why even put yourself through all that? Invest time and money into something that's not going to work. I think of dating as a business transaction.
And for me, I feel the same way, man. I feel like sometimes dating be a business transaction. It just be like a lot of times. I feel like our culture has become the hookup culture. It's not about dating no more. It's just about what you can get. Like, you know how some of these females, they be like, where the bag at? Let's get the bag. Let's get the bag. What am I going to get out of it? What am I going to get? And in reality, it's not even about you getting to know the person. It's about what you can get or what each person can get. And that's dangerous because it takes away the point of dating, which is that you're supposed to connect with that person.
I agree, Dan.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, so I feel, in my personal opinion, dudes on the dating game, instead of focusing on women because of the toxic dating culture or the hookup culture, I feel like they need to master themselves before they master women. What do you think?
I agree with that because I think the thing with the dating game now is it's all at the beginning. Oh, I love her, I love him, I love her, I love her, and then it's like, okay, where the money at? Then there's no money. She don't like you, or you can't do anything for her. She has no use for you. She'll just throw you away. Like before, like dating game was more of a 50-50 partnership. But I feel that now it's become transactional. It's like this. What are you gonna do for me? It's like it's supposed to be give and take, but now it's just guys have to give, and they don't get.
Yeah. And so I feel like, hey,
guys don't get it to anything until you know who you're dating. Don't get with somebody just to say you're in a relationship because you can waste your time with somebody that's not worth your time. But you could have been doing things that you like to do.
Yeah, that is very true. Very true. Because I've seen it. I've seen dudes like waste their time, this and that. And then at the end of the day, they go, oh, I still want her. You know, I've been dating her for 2 years. Then she broke up and I still want her. And I'm like, that's a problem. Because, like, you didn't really get to know her beforehand. You just thought, oh, I want a relationship just because it's a relationship. And I've seen where some of these chicks, they be getting into a relationship with a whole bunch of dudes trying to be happy and stuff like that. I get in a relationship with a whole bunch of dudes and stuff like that, this and that. I'm like, okay, you're trying to find happiness from outside sources, and you don't even know who you are, but you quote unquote want a relationship from a man, and you want a man to do this for you, do that for you, and then they're gonna talk about how much they're a queen, they're queens and stuff. Like I'm a queen. I'm like, you're not a queen because you're entitled, and that's a problem too. Or it leads to all that entitlement and everything else. You don't even know who you are, but you're gonna talk about how you a queen. That's dangerous.
And I agree with you on some of that, but this is where I have to correct you because when they say they're a queen, they're right in the sense from entitlement. That's where I agree with you at. Queens and stuff, they feel entitled. All a queen is somebody that stole something from somebody else. Their family stole territory or something, and then now they feel entitled that they can run it. But from a standpoint as a queen has to behave herself as a lady. You can't just sit here and act all bitchy and think, oh, the world is gonna be at my feet.
Yeah. And that's why I disagree with you when it comes to the queens. What I was saying with queens is like with that entitlement, it comes responsibility.
Yeah.
That's what I was leading into. Like, if you are a queen, you have to act respectable. You have to be respectable. You gotta treat your dude right. At the end of the day, queen is supposed to be at the side of the man. The man is the king. He is the leader. He is the head of the household. You can't. How you gonna call yourself a queen, saying you have your own kingdom and everything else when you're not even? You're supposed to be supposed to be by the side of the man. You can't call yourself I'm a queen, and you have that entitlement in you, but you don't have the responsibility, or you don't want to do the responsibility of leading.
I agree. Because I feel today now too, women they want to emasculate men.
That's very true.
Because I see a lot of females, they be in a relationship with a guy for all these years, and then they have a bad breakup or something, and they want to get with a female that looks like a guy. I don't have a problem with you doing that, but it's like that's you basically telling the world what your perception of a man is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's messing up the psychology. If you want to be with a woman, be with a woman. If you want to be with a man, be with a man. That's your business, but you have to stop playing the games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like a lot of times when it comes to dating culture, a lot of times people feel like with dating and stuff like that, they want to play all these games, and it's like at that point you have the mindset of a child, because this is something children do. I'll play hard to get. I'm gonna do this and that. We'll see. I'll let you know. I think about it. Like if you're a woman, if you're a man trying to pursue a woman, and a woman says all those three things, that means the woman is plainly not interested in you. She's not really going to say that because she's like, oh, I'm going to hurt his feelings or what have you. And I'm like, that's dangerous too, because you're leading the man on, and that's the last thing you want to do, because that's dangerous too.
Mm-hmm. And I feel a lot of females now they want to go after dudes, and they do some of those things because they feel they'll get back at dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand. You can't play this dirty game that dudes play. They've been playing it longer than you. They know it better than you.
Mm-hmm.
They always get hurt at the end.
Yeah.
Whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, you don't want to do that.
Yeah. That's where you cross the line.
Yeah. Because you ever heard of a female, she goes and sleeps with a bunch of dudes unprotected. She ends up with a child or ends up with an STD or something. With a dude, they may end up with an STD or a child, but guess what? The female, we know it's mama's baby, daddy's baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they don't understand. A dude can go do that, but he may not have that responsibility to take care of the child. Well, being tied down with the child, you're going to be tied down to it.
Yeah.
So when you go and lay with these no good dudes and you know who they are, you're doing that to yourself. But then you want to take it out on another dude, and you want another man to go with your child. You can't do that.
Yeah. How you doing that? Like that's just my thing. Like when it comes to, that's what confuses me when it comes to some women. It's like these dudes are no good, but you gonna straight up sleep with them and this and that and get with them. And it's like these dudes from the jump are no good. Why are you with them? It's because I feel like they have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
It all comes down to their self-esteem. They are very insecure about themselves.
Yeah, because I've seen a standpoint where a dude would tell a girl right now, this is what I want, this is what it is, I don't want you in this way, I don't want this and that. If you get pregnant, I'm not taking care of it, and you'll still go get pregnant by this dude. But they get mad with him to take responsibility for this too.
Yep.
You got to take responsibility. It starts with you. You can't put the onus on somebody else. You got to take it first.
Mm-hmm.
You can't blame anybody else for your decisions. You can only blame you. Once I put the onus on myself and the responsibility, I can start telling somebody else what to do. But if I ain't got my shit together, I can't tell you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
You have a lot of females, instead of them going to a woman, an actual grown woman that's been through some of the stuff they've been through for counseling, they talking with their friends and giving each other advice. But it's like this, you can't do that because you're basically in the same boat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Because most definitely, that's why I said It all goes back to your self-esteem and you doing self-improvement and you mastering yourself. For either side, master yourself. Know who you are. Do the self-improvement. What's your hobbies? Do what you like to do. That's why I tell these dudes all the time, like, you gotta work with doing self-improvement. I had to tell a dude the other day about how he talk about, I can't get no women. I can't get no women. I'm struggling. I said, you need to work on yourself. He said, okay, tell me a pickup line. I said, there is no pickup line. I had a podcast the other day saying there's no shortcut to success. And I meant that. Like, there is no shortcut. If you think there's going to be some sweet little pickup line that I'm going to give you that's going to work, it's like, no, it's not. You got to work on yourself. If you don't work on yourself, what's the point? Because you can say all these pickup lines, this and that, but you have to maintain that. You have to maintain that level of high value, that level of standard that you have about yourself. Because if you're a man of high value, you have all these standards and everything else. And you want your woman to fulfill those standards. If you just a regular dude and you just I just want a woman, just the one woman, that's dangerous because you just want any woman, and you shouldn't just want any woman because you better watch who you sleep with, watch who you put your seed into and stuff like that, because that can cause if you don't know if the woman is crazy, you don't know if the woman is damaged, you don't know if the woman is just weird and stuff like that. Same thing goes with the women. And as a matter of fact, you would think the women would be even more cautious because they have to deal with childbirth. You would think they would be more cautious, but they're less cautious due to their low self-esteem, and that's a problem.
Because it's like I want to piggyback off of what you said. Is if you want to be a quality man, you want a quality woman, you got to be a quality man, and if you want a quality man, you got to be a quality woman.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
And a quality person, you got to be a quality person in general. To be a quality person, you have to stop putting yourself around yes people, because them yes people, they're not going to do nothing but ruin your life.
Yep.
You and I, we've been friends for a while, and you're nobody's yes person. You tell me like it is. You tell me the shit. You be like, yo, you need to get this shit together. And I tell you the same thing.
Yep.
And as you have to surround yourself with those. You can't be the most successful person in your circle. You gotta surround yourself with people that you want to become.
Yep.
Because what you have around you, that's what you're gonna likely act like. That's just like a woman. If you have a friend that's no good and all she does is use men for stuff, that's what you're gonna become. Just like a man too. If you're a no good man and you're gonna you be around dirt bags and stuff, that's what you're gonna become.
Yep, most definitely. I agree with you on that. Because it all depends on who you hang around. Like if you hang around, like you said before, if you hang around people that's gonna help you and build you up, you're gonna be successful. But if you go hang around people that's just no good, stuff like that, like if you a dude and you hang around ghetto dudes and stuff like that, you're gonna become a ghetto dude. And if you a woman who hang around nothing but women who are stuck up and entitled, you're gonna become that. And you're not gonna develop yourself into a higher quality woman. You're not gonna want to put in the work. Cause I've seen it on these college campuses where this is like when I'm going to the testimony area, but I've seen on these college campuses, these females be hanging around other females that are no good and stuff like that. And then they become no good because it all depends on people who hang around. They be like, men ain't this, ain't gonna be nothing. We entitled, we black goddesses and stuff like that. And then sooner or later, they feel all this entitlement that's undeserved because they don't act like they do anything for the man and stuff like that. And and when it comes to the dating game, it's a two-way street. It's not just one side where it's just like all like, the man's supposed to do this, the man's supposed to do that, the man's supposed to do everything, and the woman does nothing. No, it's a two-way street. The woman supposed to do stuff for the man's supposed to do stuff for the woman, and it's supposed to be mutual agreement. A lot of times with some of these relationships now, the dating culture now, it's not a mutual agreement. It's just, one person does one thing for another person and another person gets nothing. And that's not right. That's very corruptible. And it's like, I call it evil and sinful because you shouldn't do that. It's like a two-way street. You're supposed to fulfill your duties. The man's supposed to fulfill his duties to his woman or his wife. And then the woman's supposed to fulfill her duties to her husband or her man. It's not that complicated. People will try to make it complicated.
Yeah.
So, what do you feel about when it comes to women, the quote unquote strong, independent mindset?
I think originally that was put together to empower women that had been probably abused, misused, and taken advantage of. But I think now today, since the city girls have came into the picture, they took over and hijacked the term of strong black independent women. So now what they do with women is they fill their head up with a bunch of garbage telling them, okay, you can treat dudes any type of way. You could treat them like they ain't shit. You can emasculate them. You can say, well, I don't need you. I don't need this and that. But it doesn't work like that, because these females that's telling you this and that, they got boyfriends.
Mm-hmm.
They don't treat their boyfriends like that because they wouldn't go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Ever since like the city girls and everything else, it's like with the whole black, strong independent mindset, it was originally supposed to empower women. Because I studied history, and when you look back in history, recent American history, you had the women who were being treated wrong and this and that and what have you, and it's supposed to empower the women, give them voting rights and what have you. But then now that they're empowered, it's like they feel entitled with the city girls and all that stuff like that coming in the picture, talking about how like be sexually promiscuous and this and that, and you don't need no man and get the bag and stuff like that. And even with this new recent song with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, where it's called WAP, and that's basically talking about fulfilling every sexual fantasy to that they're going to fulfill with the man and stuff like that. I want to be treated wrong. I want to be this and that. Some of the lyrics talk about I want to be choked. That's going to create, that's kind of dangerous, because it's going to create a mindset where dudes going to want to beat them and this and that based off of that video. And based off of like, that's dangerous. And you putting in the heads of these girls that, oh, in order to be sexually fulfilled, you need to be choked, beaten, and slapped around and stuff like that. And that's dangerous.
Yeah.
And they don't realize sometimes you got to realize as an artist, you got to watch what you put out.
Yeah, that's true. Because it's like I feel there's some girls, they're confused because they want a masculine man when it comes to that standpoint, but they want to emasculate a man for their needs to get them to do what they want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of that, I met a woman in college where she's like, I want a man that's strong, that can protect me, that can lead me and stuff like that, but also a man that's sensitive. I said, you want a man that doesn't exist, because when you have a person like that, it don't exist, because a man is either going to be masculine or feminine. You can't have it both ways, where the man is both masculine and feminine. And I believe the Most High God designed the men to be masculine and the women to be feminine. The women are supposed to be more sensitive, emotional ones. The men are supposed to be the leaders, the alphas, the protectors, the guys that will protect and fight and lead and take care and do all those things. But the man cannot be sensitive, because the man realizes the harshness of life. The woman is supposed to be taken care of and everything else. And she is supposed to also be the helpmate of the man. Don't blame me, blame the Most High. That's how he designed it. But now you're trying to go, I feel like a lot of times now they're trying to go against what the Most High God designed. They're trying to go against what God designed, because they're trying to make the men emasculine and to make the woman masculine. They want to make the men feminine and the woman masculine. That's what I'm basically trying to say. God, I've seen it now with all these girls now, these quote unquote women, they acting masculine. All these, quote unquote lesbian relationships. And most of the time, these lesbian relationships is always a super pretty girl with the quote unquote masculine female. She wears the clothes like us. She dresses like us. She tries to talk like us, but she will never be us, because we as men, we are generally masculine by our nature. You're trying to have the men go against their nature, or what the Most High designed, and that's a problem.
And then I think sometimes when you see some females do that, I feel that it's a fake relationship. They're getting in there to prove a point. It's just like you'll see a female, she'll go and rebel against her dad, and she'll get with a bad dude just to make her dad mad. I think that's what they're doing now. Oh, I'm going to make my ex-dude mad by getting a woman and proving that she's more man than him. But it doesn't work like that, because at the end of the time, is you're playing with somebody that actually lives that lifestyle, that's actually a lesbian, but then you want to back out. once you back out, you create more confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you really want is a man, but you're sitting there, you're dragging this poor woman along with your mess.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to prove a point, and that's dangerous too.
Yeah, and if you want a masculine man, get you a masculine man. Don't try to make the man feminine. And I feel like it's all due to propaganda. Dudes, ever since when they were born, they were told by the media, by society, by the preachers, and some of the pastors that women are the prize. Do this for the woman. Take care of the woman. The woman's the prize and everything else. And they're trying to slowly but surely emasculate the man. All those quote unquote Disney movies and this and that and sitcoms and stuff like that. All those were designed to emasculate the man. And that is dangerous too, because you're going against what the Most High designed. That's what I'm going back to. And that's why I feel like dudes or anybody, if you want a relationship, before you even have a relationship, you need to master who you are as a person, your personality, everything. Do what you like to do what you love. And a person is supposed to naturally come into your life. You are not supposed to, search and chase and the woman's the prize. No, you are the prize. The man is the prize because the man pays her everything. The man does this for the woman. The man takes care of the woman. The man provides the woman with protection and stability in her life. And so due to all that, the man is the prize. So therefore, the man is supposed to take care of himself. I have a saying, if you don't take care of yourself, nobody else will. Who's going to take care of you? You better not have no woman take care of you because she's going to try to mold you into something that she wants you to be. And that's a problem.
I want to get into too. Because you got these things where these women, okay, they feel they make more money than the man, or they making money, they can emasculate a man and talk to him any kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen in certain circumstances is where men, they may be on the come up doing something, and then you have a woman, she'll clown them. Like, perfect example, we just talking about the City Girls, JT. It was a guy, she saw a guy that was on the come up, and she was trashing him, told him, he's a scrub nigga, he's a bum nigga. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
That man may not be on that level yet, but you don't know what he's gonna become.
Yeah.
And dudes, we don't do that to women when they on the come up.
Mm-hmm.
They expect us to change a woman's life. But when it's a woman, they say, bro, don't change it. You don't take care of a bum.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree that you shouldn't be taking care of a man that don't work. If he's able to work, he need to get up and get his ass up and work.
Yeah.
But I do believe too, if a man is on the come up and he's doing what he's supposed to do, don't sit here and knock him for that, judge him for that.
Yeah.
You don't know what he's been through.
Yeah, you don't know what he's doing. You don't know what he's been through and everything else. Like Tyler Perry, like the man was sleeping in his car. You can't clown him for that. He became one of the most successful black writers and black authors of our generation, of this generation, because he put the work in. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to mastery of self. You got to put the work in. Do self-improvement. Work out. Build yourself up. Work on your business. Work on your credit. Work on whatever you want to do and become the best at it. Like, let's say, for example, you have a job and what have you. You got to be the very best of your job. Regardless of, you got your coworkers and everything else. They're your coworkers. They're not your friends. But anyway, you got to master yourself before you master women or anything, or master a relationship. Like, that's why I encourage people, if you're not in a relationship, don't beat them. Don't seek out a relationship. Just focus on yourself. You put the work in, you're going to get everything you want and more. But it all starts with you. How bad do you want it?
Yeah.
Do you want it really bad, or do you not want it? One of the things I saw with this documentary called Netflix called The Last Dance. And Michael Jordan, what he would do is every day, like before practice, he would get up and he would practice before everybody gets there, do 1,000 free throws every day because he wanted to be the best. And so I feel like when it comes to relationships or what have you, and dudes mastering over themselves or women mastering themselves, you have to master yourself and know who you are and become the best version of you before you get into a relationship.
That's true. Because I remember on a lot of these girls, they always say they want to be like Michelle Obama and this and that, and they want a guy like Barack Obama, but they not doing what Michelle did. Barack Obama, when Michelle met Barack Obama, This man had nothing. This man was a community organizer. This man, he could have got a high paying job as a time attorney, but he took the low paying jobs to help people in the black community. A lot of people don't know that. And Michelle said she remember he was riding his car, and his car was so old, and he would wear the same shoes, and they were ripping up. But she never clowned him on that. She said she gained a lot of respect for him because he was dedicated to what he did, and he was a good person. And she said to see what he become now, to become the first black president, she said she got a lot of respect for him too, and she's still attracted to him.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these women, they don't want to do that. They don't want to grow with the guy.
Yeah, they want the prize at the end. They want to see the dude at the finish line, and then they want to be that I'm attracted to you and this and that. And I'm just like, you don't want to see the work. A lot of these one of the most successful men, they work through and go through the most hell because they got to work hard. They working twice as hard and everything else. And then you go have some of these groupies coming up in there talking about like, I want you and this and that and da 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 da. I'm just like, nah, because you didn't see the work. You didn't see the groundwork. You didn't see me put the work in. You just want me now because I'm quote unquote successful. And I'm just like, you didn't see the work. So I feel like in terms of, it goes back to what I was saying. You got to work on yourself. Got to put the work in. Got to put in that work. You don't put in that work, you're not going to be as successful.
Yeah. And another thing I want to add to that too is that some females, they get jealous of a chick that's probably younger than them or another chick because the dude that they wanted, that they was in a relationship with, he's grown and elevated. He treats the other woman differently. You gotta understand this. You went through that because God, I ain't gonna say God wanted you to go through it, but it was something that it could have made you or break you. You choose what you wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. Because in the Bible it says, it's your season to reap what you have sown. So you could have sown good seeds or bad seeds, but you were sowing it. That's what people understand. So, okay, you was with this dude and he was treating you wrong, but out of nowhere he started getting better and you stayed with him. You can't be married with him because after all the stuff he did to you all those years back. Mm-hmm. Because that's where he was. You chose to stay with him.
Yeah.
And I say too, if you're gonna stay with him through the bad, get your reward and stay with the good. Reap what you sown.
Yeah.
And I say too, if you see another female with that dude after you been with him through all the hell, you can't get married with her. Mm-hmm. That's what he become. It's like Malcolm X. Malcolm X had to become. He was Malcolm Little when he became Malcolm X.
Yeah.
He was a criminal. He was a thug. He was all that. As Malcolm Little, he evolved as a man.
Yeah.
He learned from his mistakes. That's what females gotta understand too. Y'all make mistakes too. You can't just get married with a man because he's a dirtbag at the beginning and then he starts becoming a man, a quality man.
Yeah.
That's what we're on this earth to do.
You have to evolve. You have to improve yourself and everything else. That's what my whole channel is all about. Is trying to get people to evolve and improve themselves. Like a lot of times they don't want to improve themselves. People just want to they want instant success. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. You have to grow. You have to change. I didn't start off like this. I started off, writing and this and that, or just doing my own thing. And when I was a child, I spoke like a child and I acted like a child. When I became a man, I spoke like a man. It's a transition. I transitioned into this. It's a slow but sure transition. Usually I tell dudes to master themselves before they master women because back when I was younger, like in my teenage years and early 20s, when I became 20, I used to be the chaser. Oh, chase. Oh, they look good. Oh, this. Oh, just pursue. Just pursue just because of pursuit. Yeah, I didn't realize that I need to master myself first before I got into any relationship. Because how you going to want a relationship, but you don't even know halfway who you are? That's what college is all about. Like discovering who you are, discovering what your passions are, discovering what you want to do. Because it's the first time you're away from your parents' household. So you're trying to mold yourself into a man that I want to be. That's what evolution is all about. It's about you growing. It's about you changing. It's about you evolving. And so I had to evolve. I had to put in the work in. But a lot of times these people don't want to put in the work. They just want to sit there and be lazy and be like, oh, well, this and that. And the man's supposed to do this and that. And I'm going to get the bag. Where the bag at? And I'm like, half of this time, I've seen some of these chicks. I talked to some of these chicks. They be like, well, I want a man that's gonna work out. I want a man that's gonna travel first class and everything else. There was this AKA chick. I was working, doing work study. There's an AKA chick. She on the phone talking about, I want a man that's gonna take me first class. It's gonna take me to Chris. It's gonna take me here. It's gonna take me there. And first class, this and that. And she's in college. All these material stuff. And then the man that she got with, he's a bum. I'm like, how the heck does that work? You said you want a first class and everything else, and then you dating a bum.
That's another thing I want to get into too. Is girls mature faster than guys, so you can't. Women mature faster than men, so you can't put unrealistic expectations on the man.
Yeah.
Or dude, because what happens is you may be 24, ready to settle down. You may have lived life and all that, and he may be 24 too, but he's still playing the field. You can't get mad at that.
Yeah.
You let him play the field.
Yeah.
Then you come back together when you're probably like 28 to 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be on one accord.
Mm-hmm. On one agreement. You got to be on one agreement.
If you want what you want, you got to speak it into existence, and you can't just speak it into existence. You have to put in the work.
Mm-hmm. The Bible says faith without works is dead. You got to put in the work. Goes back to putting in the work. You can't have blind faith that things are going to go your way without putting in the work. That's the problem.
And you have a lot of these women and stuff, they ask for a man, but they didn't ask God for what type of man they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So he just threw you a man.
Yeah. Same thing with dudes.
You just said quality, you got to be specific.
Yeah. Same thing with some of these dudes. They be like, Lord, just send me a woman. Lord, I just need a woman. Lord, I just need a woman. I just want a woman. I just want a woman. Lord sends you a woman.
Be a woman out of hell.
Yeah. It'll be a woman with the spirit of Jezebel. That's what it is. And then you're like, well, Lord, what happened? The Lord's like, wait, you told me you wanted a woman. I gave you a woman. There. Now shut up. You weren't specific what you wanted. You got to be specific.
Yep.
Some of these people are not specific. This and that. And, I just want a woman, that look good. Okay, she could look good, but she has a spirit of Jezebel. She could be just evil, trifling.
Yeah. And it's like this, too. If you want a man with a lot of money, go with a man with money.
Mm-hmm.
Woman that's classy, go with a classy woman, hang out.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true.
If you want a man with a good brain on his mind, go where they at. Go to the library.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of times they don't want to do that. It goes back to laziness. They don't want to put in the work. Mm-hmm. They just want to sit up there, just to sit up there.
Yeah. And
that's a problem. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people need to evolve themselves and grow.
Yeah.
And instead of just the dude is this and that, and I'm gonna want a man that's gonna put in the work and this and that, and that's a problem.
And two, if you want that man with the money, you gotta be able to take the stuff that's gonna come with that man with the money.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna let you boss him around. He's gonna be sort of an asshole.
Yeah.
Are you willing to deal with that?
A lot of times they're not willing to deal with that.
You gotta come to a mutual agreement when you get into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going out on the field, you say, I just want something to hit it quick. Do that. Make that clear.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a quality relationship, make that clear. If you want to get married, make that clear.
Yep.
But you just can't go in the unusual places and think, I'm going to find this person. And it's just going to work out like this. No, it's going to be growing pains.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of people don't realize. They don't want, like I said before, they don't want to put in the work. They just want to sit up there and be like, this and that. And, I'm going to go to the club and think I'm going to find a quality man. You're not going to go to the club and find a quality man. You're going to find these regular dudes. Same thing with...
Hold on. I got to interrupt with that because you may find a quality man, but what's the likelihood of that?
Yeah.
In a club?
It's very low. Very low likely. Same thing with a dude. If you're looking for a quality woman, you may find her in there, but it's extremely rare. You may not find her in there because you looking, and it's just like, nah, you can't be going in there talking about, I'm gonna find me a quality woman. And it's like, no, you can't be doing that because you gotta search. Don't be chasing. You allow a woman to come into your life, not chase after her. That's the things that a lot of dudes need to learn. That's the thing I had to learn. That's the thing a lot of dudes need to learn. Don't chase women. Let them chase you. Exactly.
But that goes to something else. That's just like if I'm going to the dentist, I ain't gonna go to the damn mechanic to pull out my tooth. I'm gonna go to the dentist.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to the doctor, I ain't going to the mechanic to operate on me. You gotta know, you gotta use common sense.
Yep.
Question I'm asking everybody right now is, do you want status or you want a quality relationship?
Mm-hmm.
You can't just look at the status tag. You gotta look at everything. Person with mind, body, soul. That's right.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. It's a status or relationship. You can't just want the status and everything else without the relationship, because it don't work like that. I want him to have all this money and this and that, and I'm just like, you can't be doing that when you haven't put yourself haven't put the work in. It's like one of these chicks I've encountered. They wanted all this money, all this status, and everything, the dude to work out. I asked them what they're gonna do for the man. They couldn't answer my question. They're like, I want the man to work out, but I ain't gonna work out. That's a problem because you feel entitled and you don't put in the work. It all goes back to putting the work.
Yep. You can't go into a quality relationship with a situationship mindset. It's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. So, what are your final thoughts on the whole relationships and going forward? What do people need to do in order to seek and have quality relationships and not have the hookup culture, but going back to the dating culture?
I feel with the dating culture, it's basically all the stuff we talked about. If you're gonna go into the dating culture, it all starts with inside. It starts with your circle. It starts with everything where you hang out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna do that, you have to have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be plotting. You gotta have a plan. And the plan is something that you're thinking maybe short term, long term. If I have a plan, basically what I want is I'm creating a strategy on something I want and on how I'm going to attain that goal or that strategy. But if I'm plotting something, it's like, no, I want to do this and that. How do I get this person? How do I get them in the trap? If you go into somewhere with a plot mindset, it's not going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're plotting on somebody that's doing something malicious in a way. That's just like, you used to have females, they were when an NBA player, they get drafted. Oh, I'm going to go over there, I'm going to have sex with him and try to get him to get me pregnant so I don't have to work anymore. That's a plot. That's not an actual plan. A plan is, okay, I see this dude or this female, and this person, I feel like they have a good hand on their shoulder, and I like the way they look. I like what they stand for. I want to build something with them. I want to get to know them. That's different from you plotting and saying, oh, I just want this so I can get this status so I can just get here quick. You can get there, but you don't know that person. You just know their bank account.
Mm-hmm.
You know of them, but you don't know them.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Yeah, I agree with you on everything like that. I feel like my thing is, before you even, what this message is all about, I understand this with the dudes and women on both sides, that in order to have a successful, great, and wonderful relationship, you must, I repeat, you must work on yourself. Because if you do not work on yourself, you will not have a successful relationship, because you got to know who you are. You got to know your personality. You got to know what you like to do. You cannot just go in a relationship, thinking that, the woman's going to do all the work and I'm not going to do anything, or the man's going to do all the work and I'm not going to do nothing. No, it's the mutual partnership. It's a mutual tango. It takes two to tango. That's how the saying goes. And I'm just saying that you need to work on yourself, build yourself up, get your credit right, get your status right, do the self-improvement, do the work, put the work in before you jump into a relationship. And so that's my final thoughts. So this concludes Dab Daniel Podcast. And Tyler, thanks for being on the show.
No problem, Daniel. Anytime.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, tune in next week to listen to this podcast once more and listen to this outro music. Dab Daniel Podcast. The evolution never stops.